Funny.
Oh, where am I? Holy crud. Why ain't this a goofy little dimension? Oh well, I guess I'm here now. Oh, this place is giving me cancer. You know, this weird glitchy dimension kind of reminds me of a musical artist. One of my favorite pop artists who I've recently become very obsessed with. Clarence Clarity. Hey fellas, Juzza here. It's been a while since I did an actual recommendation. Not some joke stream, like an actual recommendation. Ever since his new album came out last month, I've been listening to Clarence Clarity on repeat. And since he's vastly underrated, I reason that he deserves a shout out. I highly recommend checking out Clarence Clarity. Clarence Clarity is the stage name of Adam Crisp, who's been making music for years now. Before his current stage name, he was involved with a bunch of previous projects. He's got a lot of roots with indie rock and just pop in general. And over time he arrived at this really distinct sound. It's this big experimental mix of glitch pop, R&B, various aspects of electronica. His production style is very maximalist at heart. It's rare you hear a song from him that doesn't have like 30 layers, so a lot of people throw out the word maximalist when describing him. His music is so in-your-face, complex, and involved that at first I was kind of turned off by how overwhelming it was. But obviously here I am today making a video about it. It took a solid year for his music to grow on me to the point where I was obsessed with it. And I've had multiple waves of obsessions. Twice per year on average, I have to return to his stuff and remember just how amazing it is. His debut album, No Now, released in March 2015, defines a lot of what makes his sound unique. That's No Now's cover. That's the Minecraft version. No Now is a very dense, conceptual album. It's an hour long, but aside from a few interlude-like tracks, no song feels inessential. There's a lot of funky cuts, such as Alive in the Septic Tank, Those Who Can't Cheat, which is the definitive fan favorite, by the way. There's tracks that just go full on with the glitchy electronic production like Let's Shoot Up, and despite how much is going on, there's a very, very strong sense of cohesion that's achieved through the track listing, the reuse of specific kinds of elements, auto-tuned Hawaiian, I guess. The end of the album loops back into the beginning, and this general theme of life, death, reincarnation, living forever, whatever it may be, is expressed very well in the way that the album is kind of infinite, very transcendental tracks like Will to Believe, and the stunning finale, With No Fear, that feels like a death and a rebirth. Last half of the track goes full glitch mode, the entire album is like flashing before your eyes, and after that turns out, the album connects back to the beginning. No Now is an album I could talk for like an hour about. It's one of my favorite albums of the decade, definitely my favorite album of 2015, and I usually like to keep ratings out of my videos, but it's a 10, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's definitely a 10. After No Now, Clarence devoted a lot of his time to singles. There was no real plans for another album yet, and so for a few years he experimented with single releases. One of the singles he turned into an EP by making it just play the same track 5 times in a row, and then the track's called Same. I wonder why. Compared to the material on No Now, a lot of these tracks were way more straightforward. Maybe not mainstream, but they were definitely more accessible. And just recently, this October, Clarence released his second album, Think Peace. And this album took a lot of those singles and reworked them, putting it all into this weird cohesive mess. Yeah, that's Think Peace's cover. Now here's the Minecraft version. Think Peace is an album that's cohesive in a different way than No Now. Again, a lot of these songs were originally made as singles. They were not made with an album in mind. And so he played on expectations of how the songs are supposed to play out, how they're supposed to begin, how they're supposed to end, and he just ripped a lot of it up. The last third of the song Adam and the Evil is now in the song Naysayer Magic Obeyer. There's all kinds of weird mishmashy interludes, littered with what I'm pretty sure are voicemails from an ex, which go hand in hand with a lot of the breakup themes in a lot of these songs. Think Peace is low-key a pretty good breakup album. So even though it's a much more conventional album, there's still this weird haunted quality to it. And all that aside, individually speaking, all these tracks are golden. There's not a bad track here. Coinciding with this album, the playlist Leave Earth was introduced. It's got a lot of the original singles, not edited for the album at all, and he's continuing to release more and more unreleased tracks and outtakes onto it. A part of the idea behind Leave Earth is that you can make your own think piece. Like, he assembled these tracks in this specific way, but he wants to see how other people might do it. And that's all he's got as of right now. He doesn't have that big of a discography yet. His current plan is to continue releasing singles and shorter projects. A smaller album, Medieval Europe, is expected in the near future. Another important thing to note is his role as a producer for artists like Rina Sawayama. The material that Clarence produces with Rina is just as good as his solo stuff. So I also highly recommend checking out the Rina EP. Production-wise, Clarence is very restrained here. He's not trying to go all out there like he usually does. You get to hear what he sounds like when he remains supremely accessible, and you pair that with Rina's singing and songwriting, and it's just great. Whoops, would you look at that? This is also a recommending Rina Sawayama video. Anyways, if you're interested in something fun, something super inventive, something so layered that you're always gonna find something new, something legitimately life-changing musically, then please go check out Clarence Clarity. This is Juzza signing off. I absolutely adore this man. Okay, it's not funny anymore. How do I get out of here?